What's up YouTube, Pimp My Shed here, and I guess this is going to be first impressions, I would say, of Fallout 4. Um, I know everyone's been talking about it on the internet and Twitter and everything, and I'm going to tell you my experience with Fallout. Never got into Fallout 3. I owned it for the Xbox 360. I had it for about a week. I got it really cheap after it had been out. I think it cost me about 15 quid. I started playing it. I just couldn't get into it. Couldn't get into it at all. I don't know why, because it's pretty much Skyrim with guns. And I think maybe that's the problem, that it's not Skyrim, it's not Elder Scrolls. Because I'm a big fan of fantasy. Like, I'm a big futuristic fan. I like games like Mass Effect, and I'm a big Star Wars fan and stuff like future science fiction and that. But I'm also a really big fan of like fantasy, like monsters and dragons, games like that. That's why I really like The Witcher and Skyrim and Oblivion and all the Elder Scrolls games and stuff like that. So I got this game, and the hype around this game, and I'm not good with hype. Like I say, I've said in previous videos, Destiny's ruined hype for me. I mean, that game crushed everything to do with hype. So I don't really handle hype that well when a game comes out and it's getting a lot of hype. I kind of try and stay away from it and just try and be a bit open-minded. As far as it goes, it's a great game. It's an amazing game. It's probably going to get Game of the Year. It's either going to be this or The Witcher 3 that's going to get Game of the Year. Although there's a few people that are saying Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to get Game of the Year as well. But as for the world itself, when you're coming out the vault and stuff and everything, the graphics before you come out in the vault, I was kind of a bit like, wow, these graphics are a bit shit. You create a character and you're like in the mirror and you're creating your character. I thought the graphics were a bit cagey, and you're walking around the house and I thought, no, these graphics are terrible for next gen at least. And then you step out into the vault, and I was just blown away by that, like the world and how like immersive and like how big and the detail to the world. Like, it's a Bethesda game, so Bethesda are a really good games developer. The combat, the guns is good. You can slow it down and go into like Valis mode, which slows the time down a bit, and you can like do like kind of turn-based combat and stuff, which is good. I tend to only really use that when I'm in trouble. I like the real-time fighting myself. But I'm enjoying it a hell of a lot more with Fallout 3. Fallout 3, I played the intro when you're growing up in the vault, and then I got out, and I just remember the world being very... I don't know, this one kind of has weather. It's like day and night. That one seemed to be like a constant green all the time. It was just a bit, But then I think something else came out. I think it might have been Deus Ex that came out, and that just totally took me off it, and I just didn't finish it, didn't go back to it. But the game itself, I mean, it's a great game. I mean, it is a great game, and I'm really enjoying playing it. It's got everything. It's absolutely massive. Such a big game, loads to do. I mean, this is the thing where you can switch in between, and you do like a turn-based thing and stuff like that. But anyone who's played Fallout knows the crack. Bugger off. And by the way, I know my last video I said I was going to carry on streaming Alien Isolation. I will go back to that, but there's just a lot coming out at the moment. Star Wars Battlefront's out next month, so I'm going to be playing a lot of that as well. And that was kind of just for Halloween, but it was a good game, and I enjoyed streaming it, and I did get a subscriber out of it, so thanks for subscribing to that as well. Now, there are problems with this game. No game's perfect, even though this has been getting reviews where it suggests that it's nearly perfect. But I never understand, and I'm not a big fan of reviews, because you get reviewers like, it got a 9.5 on IGN, and it is a great game. It is worth a 9, but I'm not like big on review scores. But it is a brilliant game. It is an absolutely brilliant game. I don't know if it's going to be my game of the year. I think Witcher, there's something about The Witcher, I don't know what it is, and I think the way that they've handled their DLC and stuff is just fantastic. But then again, the way that this game has been launched, where they kind of just announced it. It was like, oh, by the way, we've pretty much made this game. Here's 20 minutes of gameplay. Oh, by the way, it's out this year. That was just the best marketing ploy I think ever for a computer game, and I think a lot more games should do that. But The Witcher stands on DLC where they just, they give away free DLC. There's, I just think that's something that is also credible, and a lot of companies should learn from that as well. But it's a very, very tight race. I mean, hardcore fans are really going to be into this game, and they won't have a bad word to say about it. Fanboys, pretty much. I think it's a brilliant game. It's probably going to get Game of the Year. I'll probably change my mind because I'm not far into it. I'm only level... I don't know what level I am actually. Level 14, and I haven't done a lot of the story. I haven't done a lot of missions. I've just done a few little side quests. A lot of people are saying that the main story isn't amazing. The side quests are, and I will tell you there is a lot of bugs. Not game-breaking bugs, but there are a lot of bugs where it's took me out of the experience. Ones that won't even let me finish quests. You can also recruit a person to come with you one at a time. You can either have your dog, or I've just got this guy, or there's another guy called Nick Valentine, who's like a robot synth, android kind of person, and he's really good at hacking, so I've kind of kept him along with me. There was this part in the mission where I was trying to get him to hack this terminal, because the hacking on this, I don't know what it is. I'm still completely clueless on it, and I'm really bad at hacking, and I keep getting locked out of these terminals for 10 minutes at a time. So I've kept this guy with me, Nick, and he's been doing it. But there was this one mission where I was asking him to do this terminal, and he just would not do it. He was just stood there, and he was just talking to me, and he just wouldn't do what I was asking. So there's also a little few glitches here and there, but every game has glitches now, I suppose. But it is a great game. Like I say, this is my first impressions of the game. First impressions, it's amazing. The NPC graphics, I'm not really a big person on graphics. I know a lot of people seem to be bothered about frames per second and all that bullshit. I'm more about gameplay and if the game's fun. The graphics are amazing. The world graphics, for people that care about graphics, the graphics of the Wasteland are absolutely amazing. And even walking down here, I mean, I watched a lot of YouTube videos previously just to get a feel for the game, and the graphics was kind of I wasn't too hopeful about the graphics. But once you come out the vault, I was just like, wow, this Wasteland's amazing. But I will say that the NPC graphics aren't as good as the scenery graphics and stuff like that, but it's still a great game. The graphics aren't everything, and I think a lot of people and a lot of reviewers now and a lot of game websites and stuff tend to focus too much on graphics and frame rate and stuff like that, and it's big. I'm really starting to take a dislike to these big game sites like IGN. I mean, I've always had a big stipulation with IGN. I kind of like GameSpot. Even they have gone downhill in my estimations lately. They have just, they crucify games before they even come out. Star Wars Battlefront, I don't think I've heard anything positive come off their website or Twitter feed that says anything positive about Star Wars Battlefront. And these games come out and it's the first week when Fallout came out, it was kind of before it came out, the day before release, it came out and it was right. Every single thing, it was learn all the where to find all the secret games you can play on your Pip-Boy, learn all the places you can go in the map to do this, 7 things you need to do, blah blah blah, and it's just what's happened to letting people play the game and discover stuff for themselves. I mean, I know you don't have to read stuff like that, but it's hard to avoid when you're on Twitter. I use Twitter quite heavily, but it's hard to avoid when you're on Twitter and you get people going, Fallout's map end to end and all this, and this that they discovered. They've just done one for Battlefront, and it's every weapon and player card revealed, and it's just every perk, weapon and player card revealed in Battlefront, and it's it's not even out yet. It's just they just get these games and they just like I say, analyse them, over-analyse them and dissect them before they even come out. It's just like, what are you doing? Just chill out, like. But I think it's a great game. I'm gonna reserve judgment on it, and really get into it before I start giving the Game of the Year award in my personal Game of the Year. Because The Witcher, I mean, I haven't really spent a lot of time with The Witcher, to be honest. I kind of just, because everything's coming out, it's like I play a game or buy a game. You know, I bought Call of Duty last week, and then this, and I played Call of Duty for a bit. That's a great Call of Duty, by the way. I really enjoy it. And then this came out, so I've stopped playing Call of Duty. And then Battlefront's out next week, and I'm going to play on that. And this will probably, I won't play this as much. Excuse me, but I will stream it. I think I will stream this game. I say that about a lot of games, but it's hard to make. I mean, I haven't made a YouTube video for a while, but it's hard to like make YouTube videos when I've got like work and stuff like that, and sometimes I come in when I'm tired, and I don't know how these like big YouTubers do it. Really, they're like making a game, making a video like 2 a week. It is hard to come up with content, and because everybody else is doing it as well. That's the thing on YouTube. Everybody else is doing it. Everybody else has got a stupid, quirky intro catchphrase. You know, it just, and I just kind of think I did want to do YouTube, and I did want to really get into it, and I think I've got the tools to do so now. But I don't have a fancy intro, and I don't have a stupid fucking catchphrase like PewDiePie or Markiplier or which they're pretty much the same fucking people. You know, it seems to be like YouTubers, they've just got this stupid, I've got to think of a catchphrase, and then I can talk about the game, and then they're all uploading the same games and doing like reading mean comments and all this. I've gone off into a bit of a rant now, but I will stick with this game. I'm gonna, you know, they say it gets really good after 10 hours. I don't even think I'm 5 hours in, to be honest. So I'm gonna stay with it. It is a great game. Really recommend picking it up if you like big open world games. It's a hell of a lot bigger. I think a lot bigger than Witcher. I'm not too sure. And they've also got a good season pass where you pay $24.99 and that's it. You get every single bit of DLC that's coming out. I don't think mods are available yet, which is be interesting to see. But we'll stick with it, because it is a good game. I kind of feel like I've been talking about it in a negative way, but it really is a great game. Very, very similar to Fallout 3. Doesn't really do a lot different, which isn't a bad thing. But yeah, really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Another thing I'll talk about is I can't understand why there was such a big kerfuffle about all these Pip-Boys collector's editions that everyone was going mental for, you know, and it was mainly in this country, in Britain, because you've got like game cancelled a lot of Pip-Boys that people were supposed to be ordering. There was one of my friends that I play online with, I don't know if he's got his, but it's like, it's just a glorified phone holder, and it only works with certain phones. It's just like, you know, save your money, just buy the game. You know, the app's free anyway, so technically you can just use your normal phone and just use the app and duct tape it to your arm. But there's all these people going, oh yeah, the Pip-Boy, oh the Pip-Boy, I need the Pip-Boy. It's just like, it's a bit of plastic that you stick on your arm. It's not, you know, anything, it's just a phone holder. But hey, that's just my opinion. Holy shit. So I'll see you again for another video, guys.